Hi everyone, welcome to the AA's Live. I'm Ingso.
I'm Jenny.
And this episode is actually a special edition for episode 8 with our guest, Laura. We're so thankful that she really shared a lot with us. And usually we only keep our episode in about 30 minutes. But there was still a lot of funny moments that are not included. So we want to have all these in this special edition. Hope you all will enjoy it.
And when I went to Korea, I learned a handful of just like small talk things to say. Like I could say certain things, but I really couldn't understand much of what people were saying to me. Mm-hmm. But and of course I forgot all of that after that was 4 years ago, and I
remember you told me that they all thought that you were from the Hollywood.
Oh yes, because I'm tall and I have
I just look gorgeous. Look like a star.
Gorgeous, yeah.
Look like a movie star.
See, y'all are sweet, but only because Asians think that. I like Asian people. They always think I'm pretty. Right?
You are. Come on.
Because you are.
Well, yeah. Thank you. But I feel like I look just very normal. So when I was in Korea, though, everyone was like, "Oh, she's so pretty," and I was like, "This I could get used to. This is nice." But yeah, I think it's. I mean, I am tall. I'm 5'9", and I have very fair skin and blue eyes. Yep. So
pretty eyes.
Thank you.
You know, one day if you visit me in Malaysia, I'm going to introduce you to my friend and tell them that you're a movie star.
I'll definitely play it up to make it more entertaining.
Yeah. I'll do it. I'll say it. You know, it's from Hollywood. You know, let's take pictures with her.
I have some people like stop me when I was in South Korea to take pictures with me, and it was the funniest thing. And instead of being like, no, I was like, sure, let's take pictures.
You should ask that person, which movie did you see me in?
Someone asked for my autograph, and so I gave it to him. I mean, I'm nobody. Yeah, it was great.
It's so cute.
Well, and my friend that was with me, she that we were mostly together for that trip, she is African American, and people had lots of questions for her as well. And so they really had lots of questions about her hair. And is it real? Like, is it real, or is it like, how did it touch it? Like all these things. And of course she was like, at first she was like, I guess, taken back by it, because like no one would ever dream of doing that in the United States. Like we would not ask about someone's hair. Like if an African American woman, like we would not we ask her certain questions about her hair, I guess. But she was happy, I guess, to tell. I mean, she got used to it, I guess, as the time went on, because she was like, yeah, that's fine. And we just the lady who was kind of showing us around at the time said, oh, they just think you're a unicorn, because I mean, in South Korea, like when we went somewhere, no one else looked like her. Like she was, very
yeah. Oh yeah.
And I mean, and she's gorgeous, but I think everyone had so many questions about her. Like they've seen people that look like me, I guess, whatever. But like they had so many questions about her hair and her skin, and so that was kind of cool, because then she was able to like just educate. And she was very gracious about all of that as well, which I was really impressed with. I was like, is this weird? Is this weird? Everyone wants to touch your hair? And she's like, yeah, a little bit, but I'm totally fine with it. Hey, I mean, it was a fun experience, but I mean, one thing I learned is I always make eye contact, and y'all will have to tell me if this is like normal in other Asian cultures. I have no idea. I'm so used to making eye contact with people. Like even if I'm just walking down the road, if I pass someone, I might make eye contact with them, not think anything of it. And I was told that while I was in South Korea, that was kind of unusual to like for someone like me to make eye contact with like a man was like a odd.
Like a random people.
Yeah.
Well, I guess we won't do that.
Yeah, we don't usually do that.
Yeah, why?
I guess it's kind of like we will be more like, I don't know, like a little bit shy to do that. Like when we do that, we will think that like, is it you are having something?
What's wrong with you?
Yeah, like is it you're kind of like you have
Why
a
are you
crush?
looking at me?
Yeah.
Why are you looking at me? What's wrong with you?
Yeah, see, I think that's unusual because I usually just make eye contact with those I pass or those I randomly meet, or if someone's scanning something I bought at a grocery store, I make eye contact with them and say thank you or I hope you have a great day. Like I talk to them, and so my friends with me that were from Korea I embarrassed them every time I did that. They would be like, no, Laura, please stop. And they would like elbow me, and one like poked me in the back when I was talking to somebody.
Yeah, I think that is really something. I mean, like difference between the American culture and the Asian culture or the Western culture. It is because like we don't usually talk to stranger. Like if I do not know you, I will not just talk.
Yeah, we will never. We will never wish a casual like the one who just helped us to check out. We will never wish that person have a good day.
Yeah, no, we won't do that. Like we don't even say thank you or anything, kind of. Like, we
did
say how are
thank
you?
I mean, be polite. We did say thank you, but we're not gonna say have a good day, whatever.
Well, so I had purchased something, and I had money that I was not familiar with, but I had learned how to count and do money exchange in Korea. So I was excited about this, and so he had told me my total, and I counted it out and gave it to him, and he nodded his head. I was like, "You mean I did it correctly?" And he was like, "Yes." And I was like, "Oh, sweet, thank you." And I was kind of pumped about it because I was like, I'm a big kid doing big kid things in Korea. Like, I just thought it was the coolest thing ever. And meanwhile, I think he thought I had lost my mind. And that's one of the times I embarrassed my friends. One of the many.
Yeah, this is Laura. This is the Laura I know. Very energetic.
Oh my goodness,
all
you're
day
so
long.
cute. Yeah, I think that's really different. Like we do get excited, but when we do get excited, we are not really trying to show it out sometimes, we just keep it, I don't know why, but I think that is a culture, Asian thing. Like we don't usually show like our, not like
We're
happy.
shy, I guess.
Yeah, like
We're shy in general.
yeah, we are usually shy.
How you describe your Korean friends? Shy.
Yeah, so my friend that was with me, that she was from Tennessee, and as we were together, and I would make eye contact with people, my friends would back to saying, "Hey, don't do that, it's awkward." She started winking at people to make them feel more awkward. And anyways, we were kind of terrible at the same time because we were giving them such a hard time because they were just so embarrassed going around town with us just shopping. It was sad. There was another thing I remember from being there, just I guess being a cultural difference. I had, and I'm much more aware of this ever since that moment, but someone was, we were all laughing. I was at a university, I had just played piano. I was talking with some of the students there, and I was talking to one of the male students, and he said something, and I was laughing. You know how I don't know if you can picture this, but when you're laughing and someone maybe puts their hand on your arm, or the back of their hand, it kind of touches you because they're laughing or something with their hand. Mm-hmm. Well, my hand had brushed him, and he was shocked that that we had I had done something, and one of my friends said, we don't usually touch people randomly, Laura. I didn't mean to touch him. And I was like, did I make him uncomfortable? They're like, I don't know. So that also happened. That was probably the only thing that I was embarrassed about. I was like, I'm so sorry. Oh my gosh.
It seems like you have more cultural shock than we do.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, I didn't mean to. I didn't think anything of that. And I guess one of the other things that tripped me up is like the hierarchy of like, I guess, levels of like, so in a music department, like the respect a senior, I guess. It's over, even just like a sophomore. And
junior. Yeah, junior is a senior. I mean, if you're a junior, third year student.
Right.
You're like a year older than sophomore, and they have to use kind of respectful.
Like a respect words, or even the
formal
way. Yeah, a formal language.
Well, this is not the case in Malaysia.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that's good, because that really I say it's good. It just really threw me off when I was in Korea. Because I was like, would you just talk to me like I'm a normal person, like your age? And they would be like, no, I need to like be respectful. I'm like, why? Aren't we friends?
It's their culture.
It is. I think this culture is more like
Japan
and South Korea. Yeah, like they do have, like they really care about this. So they need to know like what is your age, so that they kind of like know whether they should treat you as a younger sister or a elder sister.
Yeah, see, that's so bizarre.
Like I have to call you Madam Laura.
Yeah, something like that.
Don't do that. That's weird. I don't have any of my students, I guess. I mean, if they're under the age of like 10 years old, then that's fine. But even my students that like I teach that are in high school, I still feel like, I mean, we're only like 10 years apart in age, and I feel like that's close. Like, it's, to me, that's odd.
I call you Mrs. Watkins.
Don't do that either. That's weird. I'm just Laura to most everybody.
Yeah. Mrs. Watkins.
Stop.
Should I call you this way?
No. Miss Kong.
Oh no, go.
You started. I'm gonna do it too. So don't stop it.
Yeah, actually, it reminded me on something. So I just realized, like, when you talk about like, talking with stranger. Yeah, I just realized when I came to the US, I'm so surprised is that even in a flight, like, in a plane. So if if someone just sitting next to me, and I don't even know him at all, but he would just start talking to me. At first, I really feel awkward because I just feel like, well, you are a stranger and I don't even know you, and why are you talking to me, But then later on, I realized it seems like it is kind of like, I don't know, a little bit normal. Is it like in the US, like some people, they just talk to stranger?
Yeah, it's just part of that trying to be friendly thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, not trying to be, you're really friendly.
Yeah, you guys are really friendly.
Well, I've always heard that we're really friendly. Of course, I never think anything of it because it's so normal. So to me, if someone is, like if someone walks ahead and doesn't like hold the door open, if I'm like really close behind them, to me that feels very rude. Now, however, if it's someone that I'm looking at them, I don't assume that they're originally from America. Like in my mind, they get a pass. I'm like, oh, that's just not normal for their culture. Like, okay. But like anyone else that I feel like I assume I shouldn't be judgy like that, but I will be like, I'm like, geez, why didn't they hold the door? Or why didn't they say thank you? Come on now, pull it together. Because it's just something that it's common, and it's more common in the southern states than it is in the northern states.
Yeah, I think the door thing is more like a southern thing.
Well, that's what they call Southern hospitality for a reason.
But I heard that phrase before.
Yeah, Southern hospitality, just because in the South they're supposedly more hospitable.
Yeah, that is also something that I remember one of my American friends asked me, like, what is the, like the culture or something that you feel surprised? And I talk about this, like helping someone to hold the door. Like, I never have this kind of experience back before in Malaysia. Yeah, because it's just no one is going to help me to hold the door and then, wait for me, something like that, like, because we do not know each other. Yeah, but here is like just everyone is just like helping people, like, okay, if you're singing, someone is coming in, then you can just hold the door for some times. Yeah, that is something I really feel surprised, when I first came to the US.
I feel like to me it gives like a reason to be, it's a way to just show kindness, like any way that's like an easy way to show kindness, because sometimes it doesn't even have to be saying any words. It could be like someone is like, if I'm walking out of the grocery store and I'm about to put up my basket and someone's walking up and about to grab a basket, I might just say, like hand it to them and like not say anything or say, do you need it? Oh, here you go. And like not say any more. It's not like we get into a full-blown conversation. Mm-hmm. But why would they need to stand there and wait for me to put up my basket so that I can move out of the way so they can get the same basket? It doesn't even make logical sense. I'd rather, I just hand it off and say, oh, it's yours now, like, or whatever. And they're like, okay, thanks. But that is commonplace. But of course, I just see it as trying to show kindness in the smallest of ways can, I think it adds a little bit more to someone's day. I think it makes their day a little bit brighter when we are just kind, even about the little things. Yeah, I try to be aware of that and think of it that way.
Yeah, I guess people around here are more caring.
Mm-hmm.
Well, back in like in Asia, everyone is just minding their own business. They're like, it's none of my business. I'll just put my basket back
and just go. Yeah.
And then you grab your own basket. It's none of my business. Yeah.
Well, it would be good in certain areas of our lives around here if other people did learn how to mind their business. That would be kind of nice.
One of your neighbors cares about all your stuff.
Yes.
Sorry, I'm giving out too many things about you on this podcast.
No, it's really okay. So my husband and I moved into a house last summer, and we have lots of wonderful, sweet neighbors. They're mostly retired and older neighbors. We're the young couple on the street, and so.
And mostly retired means, they have a lot of time.
Yes. Yeah, they're not working. They're at home, just taking care of their homes, doing their thing.
And taking care of their neighbors.
Yes, and now I really do adore this neighbor that lives near me. But she, so we moved in one day, and she walked over, introduced herself, said hello. We talked, right? Typical neighborly thing to do. She brought me a baked good as like a welcome to the neighborhood thing, which is very sweet, right? And a lot of the neighbors, actually, most of them brought us a gift, like for joining the neighborhood, which is neat, right? And so now a lot of younger people don't do that, but older people are really good about that in their neighborhoods usually. So like 2 days later, she said, so I saw that you moved in on Monday, and then I guess you had the piano delivered on Tuesday, and then someone with a briefcase came by on Wednesday. I guess he was tuning, wasn't he? And I thought, good grief, she's watching everything. And I said, yes, ma'am. I said, and here's my phone number. If you ever see anything suspicious, just give me a call. So I don't feel like we need cameras or any sort of security.
You have human cameras.
Yes, because I think she watches everything, and I am like very conscientious about making sure that I am never walk past any window like before I've like changed in the morning or something. Like I'm pretty careful, because I feel like we have neighbors apparently that watch, and they're not like they're right up beside our house. they're probably 50 yards away, but still watching.
Oh my.
Are you sure? Are you sure they don't have a camera in your house?
Oh my gosh, I hope not. But no, I think she is like, she's like, you just stay very busy. You're a busy little bee, aren't you? And I was like, oh, yes, ma'am. Yeah, I stay real busy. And she was like, well, that's, So anyway, she was like, do you usually have a lot of people coming over? Like just all sorts of questions. And I said, well, with COVID going on, no. So if you do see a lot of people over, I probably need to know. So anyways, she's great. Yeah, it's like a neighborhood watch. I mean, it's a free neighborhood watch. So hey, I'm really okay with it.
Yeah, it's a nice community. You have a little community in your area that they all kind of free and very caring, very kind, right?
Yes, yeah, they are, and they like leave us baked goods at our doorstep because they're like feeding the young people in the neighborhood. It's so precious. I love it. I love it.
This would never happen in Malaysia.
Yeah, never.
Yeah, never.
I agree.
Sometimes
Never.
we don't even know who our neighbor is. In some area, mainly big city, you don't even know who your neighbor is.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think Asian is like, we are more, I don't know, like what Singing just said, like we are more like a little bit selfish, like you just care about your own business. You don't actually really care other people.
Right. Well, I have lived in an apartment before. I had someone on either side and above me and everywhere, right? And I didn't get to know those neighbors very well. And even though I would try to speak with them and they didn't really want to talk to me. And so I finally asked one of my neighbors who was outside, and I said, why is it no one wants to talk to me? Because it's really bizarre. Like, to me, it was bizarre because I generally am pretty friendly, and usually people are kind enough to say hello, but people wouldn't say much to me. And she said, oh, it's because we all smoke pot and we weren't sure if you were a cop or just like another girl on the block. And I said, so, I mean, and so in that situation, I had lived there for months and no one would talk to me, but I thought it was so unusual. To me, that was unusual. I've never experienced that. But it's because they were all buddies, and apparently they all hung out and did stuff, and I was the stranger but they all hung out, so I wanted to invite to the party, but then I didn't once I learned more about the parties. But anyways, I mean, so it's not like everywhere people are necessarily like that, but generally people are pretty friendly. And the one girl whose name was also Laura, we ended up being friends after that. After I said, why is no one talking to me? And and so then we were friends, and then we started talking, and it was all good after that. But that goes with me being pretty bold again. That's probably not very typical either.
Okay, once again, thank you, Laura, for joining us. And we talked for almost 2 hours. So we really appreciate it. Thank you also for all those listeners out here, and I hope you all will keep supporting us. If you have any feedback to our podcast, feel free to leave a comment or send us an email. Okay,
Thank you.
Until the next time. Bye.
Bye-bye.